Greetings, I'm Mike Sharp right now. Why am I looking around the old Serbi archives? Because this is in February of 2012. So basically they just announced Pokemon Black 2, White 2. Now it's a pretty decent game, if I say so myself, but there's a few things from that time. Now, as you see here is Serbi archive of the 25th of February, on the 2012, and basically they announced a date. The announced date for being in June 2012. Oh, so quite a few people didn't actually like that. So I was actually on the forums around the time. So here's the actual content. Was that she said? Everybody's argument. Someone said you can't read Japanese well. You can't. You know these stuff. You can't read Chinese. You Google Translate as everyone else does. I said, yes, it did. And this is what the result is. June 2, White 2, Pokemon Black 2012, similar release of 2. Bit weird. And to anyone who's just casually just looking at it, goes, does not look like to do 2012. And according to Serbi, who I trust his translation's better than my own, I should also point out, it's put the Japanese down, and also his translation, which is Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, 2012 June, 2 games simultaneously released. And I go over, and I never I actually mentioned at the time, I never trust machine translation on its own. I also mentioned giving it a slight. Let me make very clear. I am not an expert in Japanese. I don't know how to even go and ask for a cheeseburger. However, where I work is visual, so in some cases. So after spending 5 years following at that time, following updates, I've learned a few things, but after 50 years, I still haven't learned how to ask for cheeseburger. But these L-shapes, L-shapes are basically the equivalent of cheese of speech marks, and I also noticed that there's not one but 2 in the box, twos. So. And only 1 in the Google Translate. So, but yeah. And common symbols, I actually know. When I say common symbols, something I see a lot is the year, month, and day, and it's usually written in a year, month, and day in that order. So I see the year symbol. So if I zoom in a bit, it's a lot clearer, so you can see the year symbol, month symbol. So according to this, it's June 2012, 12 miles, and I basically said, and I find it really weird that a Japanese native, remember this is from Junichi Masuda, the director of one of the directors on Pokémon, and with his name being Junichi Masuda, you can tell he's got Japanese ancestry. And it's just, I know we live in Japan, it's pretty easy. Reason why I'd say I would really find it really strange if a Japanese native would write a date without following the standard protocol. I mean, as it would be. And I mentioned that if you want to know days dates, when I'm waiting this, it was March the 1st in Japan, and actually February 29th at 3 p.m. at the time. So because this is a Pokemon forum, you see the same Pokemon a lot. You know, or actually Pocket Monsters, that because that's Pocket Monsters, not Pokemon. But it's good enough good enough for us to translate it back. Oh, because Black and White have also got some English translations we can actually follow. It's pretty easy for that. And of course, some people went and said, "Yeah, what I'm talking about is not comes along and says where is it?" Yeah. I mean, someone does mention down here a bit later on saying, I can second what I can read some of the kanji, and it definitely does not say during the second. The symbol for day isn't there, and it's a so yeah, that was one of my things I did last year. Yeah, I would have made this video around March the 1st if I wasn't actually really ill at the time. So that was more of the fun parts. I should just get set up until about a year, March, until May the 15th and 16th. There was a video that leaked online. Because this video was somewhat leaked online, we managed to do a lot of things with it. But I actually did something weird that time. Now I will point out I've had to mute the audio here, purely because, well, for legal reasons really. I don't want to get into too much trouble for showing having this audio in the video, and I already got slammed with this video once already. So, but this actually is a full-blown in-place subtitles for the actual video. I mean, this looks pretty decent considering. Now I did some tweak. Why is these yellow and red? Well, orange. These are saying that I'm very close to the edge of basically what subtitle edit, which is the software I use. I've been basically the line length is pretty long, and the reason why is I can't really shrink this down too much because, but I mean, and because at the time I didn't know who Kovash was, which you see here. I had to basically translate his name as question mark. Actually, his name. I put his Japanese name in here, which is something because at the time there was no English. Because every time I used a name, it would be either the descriptive name, rival or player, or Bianco in the case of here. And actually, because I've got it too close, I would change things differently. And Neoplasma is the nickname I gave this grunt, and because of how short Cheren's line was, I only had really couldn't really do too much about that one. But one big complaint I had was actually doing this fight scene, which I'll move forward for a few seconds. I'll shoot forward a bit closer to it. It's actually Arcane and Survivor, believe it or not. Their names aren't actually Arcane and Survivor in the year. And same with Samurott and in the rest of the because I used the English names where I knew them to be. For example, I had Elisa. As you can see here, I'd shown her off, and admittedly there was I've showed an older screenshot because this is the final version which I used, but the final screenshot I used had well, I deliberately used nicknames and just had the fun just to get rough timings for everything. I deliberately just put in these names, and this one I had because our spear here is actually Hadouken. It sounds like Hadouken from the Street Fighter. It was quite literally Hadouken. But yeah, now I actually at the time I used my real name, my online persona name at the time, and I also go back a bit. Now I mentioned here that Pokemon Black 2 White 2 sailed on sale at June 23rd. Yeah, and did you see that date? That thing I was talking about earlier. That was the symbols I was looking for in that tweet, and they weren't there. So, why have I mentioned playable on 3DS down here? Well, actually, most of this information here was actually somewhat standard, but this was a big thing that stood out, and so, yeah, so I deliberately mentioned that in, and the words 3DS made it really clear, and I just deliberately put. And believe it or not, talking about being playable on 3DS, I've got something else to show you. It really is playable on 3DS because I've got one myself, and I'm using tray this time. This is actually the game I was talking about. Of course, English language. I didn't get really far into it, so that's the reason why the bottom screen is blank. But I really do need to finish this game. Now, believe it or not, this video is sponsored by Mike Shoutwriter, and well, it's my channel, and well, visit this channel, but visit MikeShoutwriter.com.